Are you a Mary or a Martha? Jesus comes to visit these two sisters in Bethany, and Martha is trying to be the perfect hostess. She's running around, making sure Jesus and his disciples are comfortable and have a hot meal ready after they just showed up at her door. As Martha anxiously runs around preparing, she realizes her sister is missing because she is sitting and talking with Jesus rather than helping her, which makes her angry. Personally, I am very much a Martha. My mom jokes that I was born anxious, which, believe me, after 18 years on this earth, I can guarantee you is very true. Apparently, I am told by the people that I love that I always have a look when I'm anxious. I'm constantly anxious to be the best I can be, questioning what will happen in my future, or if a friendship or relationship will be jeopardized if I inevitably say the wrong or weird thing. Ever since I can remember, I have always struggled with letting things go. I have always wanted to be in control of everything due to my fear of the unknown, like Martha with her spontaneous house guests. TMI has made me realize that oftentimes I will be out of control, starting with my very first day of school. Before my first day at TMI, I had been homeschooled all of my life. I was then faced with the most uncontrollable situation I had ever experienced, transitioning to TMI. I had so much anxiety walking in on that first day, but it all became real when my mom told me she had to leave. She told me to have a good day, and I told her to please not leave me here. She then had to rip off the Band-Aid and tell me, yes, Emily, I have to leave you here. This is what's best for you. So I started to cry by the MacArthur statue as my parents walked away because of the realization that I was now alone, facing the great unknown all by myself. One of the hardest things for me that day was my perception that I was the only one that seemed to not have the situation under control. Everyone around me seemed to know exactly where they were going and what they were supposed to be doing. Meanwhile, I wandered around coats like a lost puppy dog. Because of my previous homeschool experience, I wanted to fit the standard of control that everyone else seemed to have. Control of their schedule, security in their friend groups, and an understanding of the classroom setting. I was anxious that I would not be able to do it. What I realized that day, however, is that it is impossible to control uncontrollable situations. I still struggle with this because I am always anxious about how my actions affect others and my own future. But now, this realization has freed me from my own standard of perfection that has always been impossible for me to achieve. Sometimes, to this day, I look at all the people around me and see that they are doing amazing at balancing the many facets of TMI, when some days I just barely make it to school on time and do things like forget to bring my socks for my shoes after swim practice my freshman year and having to walk around all day without them on. If I can't even remember my socks, how am I supposed to have everything under control? The beauty of this is control is not what gives us a happy and fulfilling life. Control does not calm my anxiety. Martha attempted to do the same thing, control her situation in order to ease her fears of her home not being adequate for Jesus. Despite my knowledge of this, I still struggle with worrying because I want to perform to my very best and keep my life under control. I seem to inwardly battle an almost irrationally competitive and anxious nature with the rational knowledge that I am loved beyond my success or lack thereof. This is what I have realized being a part of different communities at TMI and beyond, that I do not have to have everything under control to still be loved and valued. These different communities that you are a part of are here to help you succeed, not just at TMI, but also in life. These communities are here to help you, and they will all give you different and valuable insights on your life or the lives of others. Personally, I have a different community I turn to for different things, which have made up my years here at TMI and have built me up as a person. When I'm stressed or anxious, I go to the pool and I swim it off. When I need a break from the busyness of TMI and need some fun, I go to the band hall and listen to Mr. Leonard's many analogies about how our playing sounds like a cat being run over by a car and we need to get it together. When I feel far away from God, I go to my church and listen to the wise words of our priest. But most of all, I go to my family because they will be there for me always. As Coach Stephanie always says, everybody counts or nobody counts. And that is what I love about all my communities, and especially the ones at TMI, that we all have a place to discover this happiness and peace. Sometimes though, I still feel like Martha, running around so much trying to honor God by doing the best with what He has given me, especially within the wonderful communities I have, such as sports, music, or church. However, Mary sits and just talks to Jesus. She is still and she is present, not thinking about the next task she has to do. Jesus tells Martha that she is distracted by many things. He never says the things that she's doing are bad, but he says that she's distracted by those things. She is so wrapped up in them that she is not paying attention to the one she is doing those things for. That is the thing about being anxious. It can often distract you from your present situation, which is often really valuable, by making you worry about the future and the uncontrollable. Sometimes though, having this anxious nature is not a bad thing. There are important lessons that being a Martha has taught me, one of them being acceptance. There is a phrase that my family uses all the time: not your circus, not your monkeys, which, although it is a funny phrase, basically means that it is beyond your control, it is not your circus to deal with, so just do the best you can and try not to worry about it. Acceptance does not mean ignoring situations or people that do not affect you, but it means accepting that you often cannot do anything to directly change their situation, but all you can do is support them. Throughout the years, accepting an uncontrollable situation has helped me remain positive, even through my anxiety that usually accompanies it. Sometimes it is hard to accept that things are not going to go your way. There are a lot of things that are just simply uncontrollable. However, something that has helped me with this fact of life is confidence. Confidence that I am trying my best and that is all I can do. Confidence that I will still be loved and valued. Confidence that I can one day become a Mary in this world of busyness. I personally believe that I was created to live my life to glorify God, but by no means does He demand perfection. He simply wants us to talk and sit with Him when life gets overwhelming. I invite you to join me in trying to be a Mary today in the busyness of this life, to sit in and revel in Jesus' words and love. So, whenever you are feeling anxious or like you are unable to control the chaos around you, I want you to think of these words as I often do. My grandfather, the wisest man I've ever met, started talking to me at an airport as I was telling him that I simply could not do math at all. He told me something that I still hold in my heart this day, even 3 years after his passing. I was never very good at that algebra stuff, but you're doing great, sweetheart. So, TMI, moms, dad, friends, and all of the Marys and Marthas out there, I will tell you the same thing that I want you to carry with you today. You are doing great. Thank you.